Upwork will absolutely not work for you in 2026 if you don't understand the main issues with the platform and how to beat them. I know this because I have zero background in freelancing, started my profile in 2025, and grew to nearly 40K in less than a year. In this video, I'll go over the 5 issues with Upwork and how to beat them, and answer the question, is it still worth it in 2026? To understand these issues, you need to understand why Upwork works for some people to eventually lead to a full-time income. The process of growth in Upwork comes down to these 5 things. The first is building up your profile with reviews and money shown. The second is getting badges. The third is learning how to manage clients. The fourth is building case studies. And the fifth is getting higher paying clients. With that process in mind, I'll go over the issues that prevent people from getting there. The number one issue, hands down, is not getting hired in the beginning. This is the biggest hurdle for beginners. It comes down to a couple reasons, but mainly you're competing against people who show way more money and have way more credibility. But listen, this is the easiest issue to solve. And the 3 ways to do just that are: make sure your profile is fully updated. I mean, every single box filled out, no matter what it is. Number 2, send better proposals. I have free proposal templates in my bio that I still use to this day that are way more effective than what I see people applying with right now. And the third is commit to sending 5 proposals every day for the first 3 months. If you're not doing that and not getting hired, you can't complain. You have to apply every day for months, and that's it. Issue number 2 is client management and not knowing how to sell. Selling on Upwork can be super easy, but where freelancers mess up is they deal with things like scope creep and underpricing their work. The way to navigate this issue is by offering 2 clear packages. Depending on what you sell, this can be super easy. If you do ads, SEO, you should have 2 tiers. And in those packages, list exactly what you're providing, line by line. Next, in terms of scope creep, I know this sucks, but let me offer you a key bit of advice. This will save you tons of stress and hours wasted. And that is, just don't work with agencies on Upwork. Agencies and solo business owners are the worst people to freelance for, ever, hands down. Agencies will add you to their Slack and expect you to be responsive 24/7 and treat you like a full-time employee, even though you're not making anywhere near a full-time salary. Sole business owners are even worse. They'll micromanage the shit out of you every step of the way. They're so invested in their product or service that they'll expect the same amount of effort and investment from you. Issue number 3, following along with client management, is client churn. This means losing clients. You will absolutely struggle with this if you're new to selling services or freelancing on Upwork. So to solve this issue, you need to learn 3 things. The first is manage expectations from the very beginning. Don't promise them the world, be clear with your deliverables and clear with your timeline. The second is deliver a good product. If your product sucks, no matter what you do, clients are going to churn. Number 3, be extremely responsive. I frequently harp on this because it's the most easily fixable part of selling a service. But if you're not being responsive, it's one of the most common complaints from clients. It requires no skills, it just requires you to watch your emails, watch your messaging, and respond as soon as possible. Issue number 4, failing to create a process for your clients and for your work. At around the 3K to 10K a month mark, you'll probably find that you're spending way too much time delivering for your clients and completely unable to scale. To solve this issue, on top of having a clear process and package, you should do these 2 things. First, become more selective with your clients. Once a month, once every 2 months, sit back and see what clients are paying you the most, but requiring the least amount of your time. The opposite side of the coin, see what clients are taking all your time but paying you the least. Once you have that figured out, going forward, decide not to take on those clients who waste more of your time and pay you less. Or if you want to be more proactive, you can consider cutting some of your clients that are taking up tons of your time without paying you much. Next, in terms of delivering your work, create a clear documented process step by step that you can replicate for every client going forward. No matter what you're selling, SEO, ads, video editing, write a step-by-step process for how you do it. This will help you save time going forward and also enable you to possibly pass off to someone else as you hire more people and you scale. Now, last issue number 5, kind of relates to that last point. This has to do with scaling. And many clients might not be interested in working with an agency. However, after the first year or 2 in Upwork and you doing every single bit of work yourself, eventually you may want to hire employees or at least pay contractors to do some of that work. There are 2 ways to do this successfully. The first is if you got hired as a freelancer on Upwork, it can kind of be sketchy to bring someone else in. So you want to frame it in a certain light to the client. You could say, oh, I'm bringing up this expert to help us out with this project. He's really good. I wanted to be transparent with you, and I think he'll really help us move this project along further. The second is you can create an agency profile on Upwork, and you can even link your freelancer profile. So if you have good reviews, money shown, it'll show up on that same agency profile, which is nice. But it can still be an uphill battle because sometimes people just don't want to work with agencies. But eventually, if you want to scale properly, you may have to consider getting clients off Upwork. This could be with cold email outreach or running ads, whatever it is. With all that list of issues being said, I still think Upwork is worth it in 2026. As long as you're ready to grind and work through these issues, you can make a full-time income within 2-3 years, no problem. I did it, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So if you're struggling, I guarantee it comes down to your proposals. I go over how to do proposals in this video here with all my tips and tricks that I still use every day. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching these shitty videos, and I'll see you next week.